What would happen if I stopped asking people for money for 30 days? No calling home because I need upkeep. No texting a friend because I'm broke. Just me, my skills, and whatever money I could create. So today, I'm starting an experiment that could completely change the way I think about money. I'm a university student, and like many students, money can disappear ridiculously fast. Food, transport, data bundles, school expenses. And then suddenly you look at your phone and you're asking yourself, where did everything go? And when things get tight, there's always one solution that feels easy. Ask someone. Ask your parents. Ask your friend. Ask your relative. And I'm not saying asking for help is wrong. Sometimes you genuinely need help. But I started wondering what happens when asking for money becomes your default solution instead of creating your own solution. So I created 5 rules for myself. Rule number 1, no borrowing. For 30 days, I'm not borrowing money from friends or family. Rule number 2, no asking. I'm not sending those emergency texts asking someone to send me money. Rule number 3, earn it. If I want something, I have to find a legitimate way to earn the money. Rule number 4, track everything. Every shilling I make and every shilling I spend gets recorded. And rule number 5, document everything. The good days, the bad days, and the moments when I almost give up. But here's what I think we get wrong about money. We think the biggest problem is not having enough. Sometimes the bigger problem is not knowing how to create value. If you have no money, but you have a skill that somebody is willing to pay for, you have something. If you can edit videos, write, design, code, teach, sell, create content, or solve a problem, then you have the beginning of an income. The question isn't always, who can give me money? Sometimes the better question is, what can I do that someone will pay for? For this experiment, I am going to use the skills I already have. I'm a journalism student, so I understand research, storytelling, interviewing, and communication. I also create YouTube videos. So instead of waiting for money to appear, I'm going to turn those skills into opportunities. I'm going to try video editing, voiceover, script writing, YouTube, research, social media content, and tutoring. And I'm not expecting to become rich in 30 days. That's not the point. The point is to prove to myself that I can create something from nothing. Day 1 felt easy. Because on day 1, you're motivated. You have the notebook. You have the plan. You feel unstoppable. But I knew the real test wouldn't be day 1. It would be the day I was tired. The day I needed something. And my first instinct was to call someone. That's the moment I'm actually interested in. And this is where things started getting uncomfortable. Because when you stop asking people for money, you suddenly become very aware of how much you depend on it. A small expense that you normally wouldn't think about suddenly becomes a decision. Do I really need this? Can I afford it? Can I find another way? And honestly, that was one of the biggest lessons of this experiment. I started realizing something. Money doesn't only buy things. Money also buys convenience. When you don't have it, you have to become creative. You start looking for opportunities you normally wouldn't notice. You start thinking about your skills differently. You stop asking, who can help me? And you start asking, how can I become useful enough that someone wants to pay me? So after 30 days, here's what happened. I made a total of KSH, real amount. My biggest source of income was real source. The hardest part was real challenge. And the biggest surprise was real surprise. But the most important thing I learned wasn't the amount of money. It was this: being broke doesn't automatically mean you're lazy. And asking for help doesn't make you weak. But if asking for money becomes the only financial strategy you have, you eventually need to build another one. A skill. A business. A career. A product. Something that creates value. Because the goal isn't to never need anyone. The goal is to become capable of creating opportunities for yourself. And this is only day 30. Now I want to take everything I've learned and see what happens if I actually try to build an income stream from it. I'm giving myself the next 12 months to see how far I can take this. And I'm documenting the entire journey. If you're a student, a young person, or honestly anyone who's trying to become financially independent, subscribe. Because we're not just going to talk about money. We are going to experiment. We are going to build. We are going to fail. And we are going to figure this thing out together. I'll see you in the next video.